Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of Croc Talk TV. I am your host, former NFL and AFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. And today, I wanted to get into a little bit of 49ers news, talk a little bit about what's going on with minicamp, just different things I've heard. I'm looking at the FCS championship game while watching this. Ooh, it's going to be 3rd and 10. What's going to happen? All right, so if this has my little attention right now, there's pretty much a minute left. It's 3rd and 8. A kid I've trained since he was in high school. He goes to Sam Houston, who they're in the national championship of the FCS game right now. So that's got my attention just a little bit. We'll see if they pull it off in these next couple plays. But aside from that, I wanted to get into some 49er news. Get you guys on here, get your guys' perspective, get you guys talking on here. I'll send out the link after I kind of just give my thoughts on a little bit of what we've seen from our prize draft pick, Trey Lance, kind of some of the storylines and narratives that were pushed. I don't want to say narratives that were pushed, but some of the things that were reported and like kind of my thought process on what those things mean and kind of my experience with rookie minicamp, because obviously I went to rookie minicamp, been in minicamps, entire offseason, stuff like that, training camp, preseason, all that. So I kind of know the process of how it kind of works from the NFL, kind of the way they kind of structure it, and maybe the way that the 49ers are bringing Trey Lance along. All right, so we'll get into that. Again, the ending of this it's South Dakota State, right? Yeah, South Dakota State and Sam Houston. The ending of this game kind of has my attention just a little bit. I see somebody with the Steph Curry going crazy, huh? Are they gonna? I don't know how this whole play-in thing works. So, are the Warriors gonna have to play my Lakers to get into the play? I don't know how any of that works. I know my Lakers play tonight, and that's their last game of the season. This whole thing, man, since COVID, everything's been thrown off. All right, let me see. It's 3rd and 8. The quarterback rolls out right. He's pointing. He takes off. He flips. It's about to be 4th down and 2, y'all. The clock is still running. 40 seconds left. Sam Houston elects not to call timeout. Ooh. Sam Houston elects not to call. Did they call timeout? So it's 4th down and 3. Looks like they called. So here we go. So, okay. Yeah, please, someone explain to me how this whole play-in thing works for the NBA. Okay, so they're going to play the Lakers for the 7th seed. Okay. Then the loser plays 9 out of 10 game. Okay. Yeah, you guys hear me? Shoes, I'm about to turn into a broadcaster. I got the mic and everything. I'm ready. Trust me, guys. We are going to get into 49 talk. And again, I want to give my thoughts on rookie minicamp, the process of that, how the coaches kind of visualize that whole thing and how they roll the players out there and what they kind of expect in those few days. The way, and again, a kid I trained, he plays for Sam Houston. They're down 17-21, 38 seconds left. They're in scoring position, but it's 4th down and 3. Let's see if they get it. Ryan, yo. What's good with you, bro? Ayuk versus Ambry preview. Woo! Okay, hold on. Here we go, y'all. It's 4th and 3. Quarterback drops back, throws it quick, and it's complete. And they're down. The clock is stopped at the 10-yard line. Number 12. Of course they're going to number 12. That's all Sam Houston throws it to. Sam Houston has to get on the ball. They're kind of scrambling a little bit. Okay, get set. The quarterback gets a snap. Throws it. Oh, I don't know if the ball got hit or what. There's 24 seconds left. It's 2nd down and goal from like the 10-yard line. 24 seconds. It's a really good game, y'all. But anyways, what's good with y'all, man? How's everybody doing today? I promise we are about to get into 49er news. This game was supposed to be over, man. This game was supposed to be over. Thought I scheduled this good timing. All right, so that kind of has my attention a little bit. 2nd down and goal from the 10-yard line. Sam Houston getting my guy Isaiah Downs, man. I've worked with Isaiah a lot when he was in high school. All right, they drop back. He throws it to the end zone. Incomplete. Oh, no. Third and 10. Like they didn't even try to pick up any type of yards. And I get it. Again, guys, we will get into 49er talk. I'm watching the very end of the FCS championship game. Obviously, hey, would North Dakota State be in this game right now if they had Trey Lance? Probably, huh? They actually, North Dakota State lost to Sam Houston. They got to throw it to number 12. I'm pretty sure South Dakota State, I'm pretty sure South Dakota State is like, dude, we're not letting number 12 beat us. We're not. Here we go. Let's see it. Third down and goal. Quarterback drops back, throws it to the end zone. Touchdown, y'all. Touchdown. Wow. Sam Houston with the go-ahead touchdown with 15 seconds left. Oh, my goodness, on 3rd and 10. Whoa. Damn. 16 seconds left. Wow. Crazy. All right. I think we can get into some Niner talk now. Sorry about that, y'all. Should I restart this whole thing? Wow. Great stuff. Wow. What a throw. Drove that throw. Ooh, that was nice. All right. Looks like Sam Houston's going to win unless there's a big return and they'll be the national champions. I'll text my guy, Isaiah. Isaiah Downs, man, congratulations. Congratulations, Zay. I tell you what, man, you can learn a lot about somebody when you hear or see a lot of the adversity that they had to go through. And Zay, he was a kid. Again, I coached him and trained him when he was in high school. Talked to the head coach. He was struggling academically. He had to go the junior college route. Went to one junior college, didn't work out, left, and sat out a year, was working out of town, all this crazy stuff. Went to San Mateo Junior College. From there, worked with Coach Green, defensive back coach. Great. San Mateo pushes a lot of talent out. That's in the Bay Area, California. From there, got scholarship offers. Ended up going to Sam Houston, and now it looks like he's about to be a national champion. So, Zay, I'm proud of you, boy. Love you. Proud of you. Had to fight through a lot of adversity. But let's keep it going. Here we go. We are going to talk about the Niners. All right. And the first thing I kind of want to talk about, and again, I'm going to get you guys on here. All right. It's ain't just going to be about me talking about the 49ers and whatnot. I want you guys in here as well. All right. Get you guys on the show. I'll put the link in the comments. But rookie minicamp. I've seen a lot. Or let's see. Would you still like to eventually move? Would you still like to eventually move back to the Bay? So no. Short answer is no. I've realized, I'm just watching the kickoff right here, y'all. Being in California, living in California, obviously, my whole life outside of me playing ball. Let's see what this return is like. So, outside of me playing ball, I lived in California my whole life. I actually lived, a bunch of years in San Jose. Kind of growing up, my mom is from San Jose, my grandparents, everybody. I'm from Stockton, though. I actually lived in San Jose again when I was 21 years old, trying to get my life back together before I went back to junior college. And then I lived in San Jose again when I played for the San Jose SaberCats. So I'm definitely familiar with the Bay Area. I'm from Stockton, which is more Central Valley. But even then, I moved here to Arkansas to come back, finish, get my degree, see what doors could open up as far as, a scouting, opportunity or anything like that. I actually got hit up by the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, I don't think I was supposed to say the team, but I got hit up by an NFL team and was told to pretty much give my resume and, apply for a scouting position. I did not get it. They chose 2 females. So it definitely looks like they were trying to add diversity, whether it was with a minority person or, females and stuff. And, you see a lot of that going on. So I was hoping shoot, I'll take advantage of that right now. But they ended up going in a different direction. Great. But and then coming out here again, supposed to be just getting my degree. But I kind of walked into a totally different way of living, from just the cost of living, more financial freedom, being able to buy land, building my own athletic training facility here, 12,000 square foot facility that should be up, towards the end of this summer. So, all those different opportunities. I'm actually renting or about to sign my papers to rent a studio. It's an office. It's a nice office space. No way they score. That's ball game. All right, Sam Houston won, but I'm actually getting my own like office space, setting it up real nice. It's like a whole. It's nice. It's nice. It's big. $500 a month, bro. $500. You can never do something like that in nowhere in California where you get like as much space. I mean, it's a storefront. Everything come in, got the whole lobby area. Check in, all that type of stuff. Multiple offices. I have two offices. I'm gonna have one is gonna be like purely for streaming and everything. So, I'll be doing all my YouTube shows out of there. I also run all my other stuff, all my other business ventures through my athletic training facility and stuff like that. I'll run it through there. But yeah, man, I ain't coming back to Cali. I fly back. I go to Cali all the time. I feel like I'm there at least once a month, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less. But I'm always back in Cali anyways. But just seeing a different way of living, man, like I get it. I get it. I get why a lot of people are moving from Cali. I moved from Cali strictly to finish school, and my wife get into this nursing program. She'll be done next May. But I think we're gonna be here for a long time. All right. You'll be a great scout. Yeah. I think I would be a solid scout. Obviously, I have an eye for receivers and cornerbacks, defensive backs in general. I can speak that language, so it helps. Now, I don't know how to speak the language of other positions, so I would have to learn like a lot of that, because when you're a scout, you're not just designated to one position. Like, oh, Croc's good at quarterbacks. Like we're gonna, I mean, corners and receivers. Like that's what he's gonna scout. Like now, when you're a scout, like you scout all positions. So I definitely would have to learn that language, which I can if I want, but I don't want to do that, man. Like I don't want to be on the road 200 plus days a year. I like what I do. I think, building up my YouTube, that's a priority to me. Building up my Patreon, that's a priority to me. Training these athletes and being able to set up my own schedule and how I want to do stuff, going to the office when I want to do it. I like the thoughts of that more. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I'm more excited to do those things and do the things I love more so than, be a scout for the NFL team, which I mean, I'm pretty sure just the experience will be awesome, but yeah, I'm cool. I am cool. All right, here we go. Ooh, right here. What's your diet consist of, Croc? I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. I'm trying to lose a cool 20 pounds. My diet is a little inconsistent, but I'm very active and I do work out. So I don't get bad. I just don't get the results that I want. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to be more physically fit. I'm fit enough, I guess. There's nothing I can't do athletically, like with the kids that I train, but I'm definitely not the athlete I used to be. And I have to figure out a way to find that discipline. And that's the hard part, because it's like, well, what am I being disciplined for? Just to look good? So I think that's the hard part with me, like dieting. I love like eating foods and different stuff. And I want to eat Taco Bell and stuff. But at some point, I think I'll start to be more disciplined to where I do it maybe once a week or something, where I have like cheat meals. All right. Real quick, let me talk to you guys a little bit about rookie minicamp. All right, and kind of what's going on. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Hey, Croc, is there a player we just tried out you see us signing at least for a training camp? I actually have a player that just tried out. He was in minicamp with the 49ers. I don't know if he's going to make it. He is a defensive back. I know he wants to work with me when he gets back to Arkansas, but I think I'll have him on the pod to talk to you guys all about just his rookie minicamp experience. I hope you guys would like that. Yeah, consulting, I don't think that would be bad. But yeah, what's up? Yeah, that's what I want to do. You do. So Mr. P Town. All right, as far as building your own YouTube channel or anything that's your own. Obviously it helps because I have a big following on Twitter. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. So I think kind of my name and things like that has helped me. But I really started from scratch. Like now I think people, they see me do certain things and stuff like that. But like when I say I started from scratch, when I first really started tweeting about this football stuff on Twitter and all that, I maybe had 2,000 followers. So it wasn't like a big thing there where I'm just starting with a bunch of followers. And then, it was like I really had to kind of start from ground zero for the most part. The only thing that really helped me was that I had a blue check mark. And I think that helped me somewhat. But I think more so than anything, if you just can talk that language and you build up a certain level of credibility and you stay consistent, because that's what I've done. I've stayed extremely consistent throughout the years. My wife hated it. I'm always on my phone, tweeting, texting, all this different stuff, networking. My wife hates it, but she's cool with it now because now it's bringing in money. But you have to really be like extremely consistent. Yeah. I see you got some Croc shoes. Okay. Okay, Don. Yes, sir. Get them Crocs. Okay. So let's talk about rookie minicamp a little bit. All right. So I've seen a lot. And obviously the media, which I'm not out there, so I wasn't a part of that media this offseason or last offseason because of COVID. But obviously, like the media was only had access to one day, right? So a lot of reports that were coming out, we heard a lot about how sharp Trey Lance was for the most part, right? What was it? Completed 20 out of 24 passes, which is good. But a lot of it was kind of underneath passes, right? Like nothing too far downfield or anything like that, nothing too deep. I think I heard that the deepest completion was about 15 yards, and it was a nice drive throw over the middle. Obviously, a lot of glowing remarks about what they saw from Trey Lance, and that's all good, right? That's all fine. Now, this is the part where I think some people you kind of miss out on this if you're not in there, or if you don't have the opportunity to maybe ask these questions to the head coach. But when it comes to rookie minicamp or any minicamp, anytime you report for OTAs, anytime you start rookie minicamp, whatever it is, or any minicamp, they start from the very basics. Like they're not gonna have Trey Lance come in here and like, all right, Trey Lance, we're just gonna throw everything at you, and you know what I'm saying? We're gonna throw everything at you, and you just make plays all over the field. Like they're not gonna do that. Typically, it's something very, very specific that they work on, right? So they'll give you the very base things because at the end of the day, it's a 3-day rookie minicamp. They want guys to be able to play fast. They want guys to be able to fly around, and they want to just make sure that guys can just execute to some level instead of it looking like a crap show because they want to throw a whole bunch of stuff and just open everything up for guys. So they keep it very basic. When I was with the New York Jets, I remember I was with them all throughout from the start of OTAs, right? So I'm there from the start of OTAs, but I am a rookie, but I was coming from a different league, right? And then once the draft happened, then they had rookie minicamp, right? They had rookie minicamp, boom. Now they started back over from the very basics. And they probably taught us 3 plays on defense. Like it wasn't much. They taught us like just a few plays, just different things to kind of get us through practices. And each day it was a different install. So the first day they installed maybe cover 6 because that was the Jets base coverage, right? So that's the first coverage you go over. It was cover 6. And then the next day they add a little bit more. Let's start throwing in some man. Let's start throwing, or they probably did man the first day too, but so man, base cover 6, then they're throwing some cover 3, then they're throwing some fire zones. And it was just 3 days worth of, work. But they don't throw everything at you at one time. And I'm pretty sure 49ers, even with Trey Lance, they didn't throw everything at Trey Lance, right? So what do? They say, all right, Trey Lance, we're going to give you this, and this is what we want to work on. This is what I want to see you execute, all right? Whether it's going through your reads, whether it's hitting your check downs and stuff like that, we're just going to do these basic things on this first day, very first day, right? We're going to keep it simple for you. We want you to just be able to go back, drop back, say the plays in the huddle, right? Get the experience of saying the plays in the huddle. Heard you playing under center a lot. All right, let's do a lot of that. And then snap the ball, get the ball at your hands, go through reads, all those good things, right? And then typically what they would do is progressively, or they would progress off of that. So, okay, first day, keep everything in front of you, shorter pass plays, not really stretching the field, throwing the ball downfield, very simple concepts that they feel like he can handle day 1. Day 2, they build on what they did with day 1 and then add other elements. So they might add like a bootleg. They might add some RPO type stuff. They might do different things that really just kind of help add to whatever they did from the first day. And then third day, they might add some more stuff and start taking some more deep shots and stuff like that, and just kind of see how he progresses throughout that entire time. So that's a little bit more of kind of how it it goes as far as rookie minicamp, because I know there were some reports and stuff like that. And I think 49ers media do a great job of reporting, but it was like, oh, they kept it simple, or, they played it safe. And it's like, well, yeah, you're typically going to play safe the first day of rookie minicamp. So that's kind of how, rookie minicamp works. Um, Very basic, start off extremely basic, build over that, but still, for the most part, want to see guys. How fast can you play? They want to see your talent more so than anything. Because I'm telling you, they're going to throw a lot of stuff at guys, and guys start to thinking and getting in their own heads. And then it's like, damn, what if this guy is very talented, but we just threw a whole bunch of stuff at him day one, and he can't handle that, and he comes out and he just looks like crap. So they typically don't do that. They ease guys in, and I would say this: easing in Trey Lance, great, right? I mean, we're talking about a guy who played one game over the last 18 months or whatever it was. So now this is his first live action, even though it's 7-on-7 that they did most of that first day because they don't have enough linemen and whatnot. But even with it just being, 7-on-7, it was still live in the sense of he hasn't had those reps where he's going against actual defenders and there's coverage and stuff like that. So I think, just to see him go 20 for 24 and be, and just execute, even if it was quote unquote safe, I think that's very encouraging for the coaching staff. Now, we don't know how he did the next 2 days. We will find out because I'm going to get a defensive back on here that's actually with the 49ers in rookie minicamp. I already reached out to him. I'll be working with him, training him out here in Arkansas. He's from this area. So, but I'll get a little bit more input on just what it was like, the overall experience, having a guy like Trey Lance out there. What did he think about him? And that's if the kid doesn't make it. If the kid makes it, then it's going to be a little harder to get that interview. All right. So I just kind of want to touch on rookie minicamp and give my expertise. I don't want to say my expertise, but just give my thoughts on that. All right. Here we go. Just found the channel. You are killing it, bro. Thanks. I want this to be just an informative channel. And I want us to kind of look at football from a different perspective. And when I say that, like, obviously, like, everybody has their takes and stuff like that, but I want to bring something a little different, right? Like, what's going to make me different from other people that are covering the 49ers on YouTube? And I don't want to say I'm covering the 49ers. This YouTube will be more wide receiver, defensive back based, but obviously, me being a 49er fan, I will always come on here and make time to talk about 49ers. Like, that's a given. So I appreciate you. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, make sure y'all subscribe. All right. Do you think the Niners will add a free agent cornerback? It doesn't seem, it doesn't seem they are keen on Sherman, but maybe another. I think they need to. Right now, obviously, a lot of it depends too on what did they see out of Ambry Thomas. What did they see out of Lenore? All right, Lenore. What did oh, I'm not how to say his first name. What did they see out of Lenore? Throughout rookie minicamp, what did they see out of Ambry Thomas that maybe might be encouraging to where it's like, look, we have Verrett, we have Mosley. We obviously really like them. Brought back Dante Johnson, okay, and then we have Demo and Thomas, who we really like. So and then obviously you have Kwan Williams, but he just plays a nickel. So maybe they feel comfortable there. I'm pretty sure they're going to add maybe a couple guys from the rookie minicamp. I think Alexander from Virginia Tech. I remember when he was coming out, there were a lot of people that really liked him. So maybe he's somebody that they end up kind of, bringing back and keeping around. But they are a little thin that corner. I think if you bring a veteran in, you're bringing a veteran in. You're signing a veteran free agent more so to actually play. So I think you want to see first, how are my young guys and can they play? And if they can play, then you don't need the veteran, because the veteran you're signing to come in like, look, we need you to play. Like when the 49ers went and got Mohamed Sanu, right? It was like, Mohamed Sanu, like, you're coming in, you're playing right now, right? So those are the things when it comes to the veterans they're coming in to play. So I think the 49ers are likely hold off on signing a veteran corner right now, unless they're in a situation where it's like, damn, Mosley, I don't know, maybe there was an injury and Thomas ain't ready and Lenore not ready. So yeah, we got to go get a free agent. And at that point, they'll get a free agent to come in and step in and play. So, but right now, I don't think we see that. Here we go. Got our first contribution of the day. I need to figure out. I know there's like animations and stuff I can do somehow. I gotta figure that out because I love the obviously the contributions. You guys are gonna help this channel grow. The contributions are gonna help because go out, give me some more equipment, some camera work, stuff like that. Really appreciate all this. I love you keeping the 49er spirit alive. Thank you. Can't wait to see Trey with full pads on. He's a big boy. I love it. Yes, I can't wait to see Trey Lance as well. And I also can't wait to see Trey Lance change your face mask. Like in college, you were just fine. You had the 2-bar up top. It was really essentially the same face mask he has right now, but he had one more bar up top. And the one more bar, it makes a difference. For whatever reason, it just looks better. I don't know. It's just more aesthetically pleasing to me. All right. So, but then he changed it. It was like, bro, why you change it? Why'd you go to this like 1-bar thing? Now, I don't know. It looks weird. So, I can't wait to see Trey Lance. I'm hoping I made enough fuss to get him to change his face mask back to what he originally wore. All right. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have a quarterback like that has that type of dynamic ability. Obviously some of the things that he can do, we haven't had a quarterback that can do that since Colin Kaepernick. I think even with Colin Kaepernick, I think he's more of a natural passer. Colin Kaepernick was like a big time like power thrower. I think Trey Lance is a little bit more of a natural thrower. Has more natural accuracy and those type of things. Throws with more touch, but also can throw with that power. And the one thing that I think people are going to kind of forgetting about with Trey Lance, the one season we saw, he was 19 years old. And I'd imagine that his arm gets bigger, stronger. I think he's going to get bigger from a weight standpoint. He's probably done growing. Probably he's going to stay at 6'4". But, from a weight standpoint, what he just weighing at 225, he's probably end up at 235 in no time. Like in the next 2 years, he'll be at 240 maybe. So he's going to be bigger. I think his arm is going to get stronger. But I think right now, a lot of things that he's working on, being able to throw and change pace and things like that, he's more of a natural thrower than Colin Kaepernick, who was more of a power thrower. But Colin Kaepernick, highly decorated career at Nevada, a lot more experience. But I think coming in right now, it sounds like Trey Lance is ahead of where Kaepernick was, even as a rookie after playing all those years at Nevada and doing very well there. But again, Kent, thank you. Thank you for the contributions. I really appreciate it. All right, here we go. Possibly it's an endorsement thing. No, I don't think it's an endorsement thing because it's really the same helmet, the same face mask. It's just missing one bar, and it's just something that bothers me. But nobody else probably cares. All right, what's wrong with the face mask? I like it. It's not terrible, but it's like terrible is what Nick Mullins. So he has the. Now I'm getting a little nerdy with the gear and all that, but he has the better version of what Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard wore, which essentially, and even Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jimmy Garoppolo, Mullins, Beathard. Garoppolo had the better of the face mask of the three, right? But the only difference was he had one more bar up top, all right? So they all wore the Revo Speed. And it's like, all right, Revo Speed, whatever, not terrible. But when you have just that one bar, am I able to share my screen and look at a picture of Nick Mullins? It's just bad. It looks funny, right? And I feel like his face looked funny in his helmet, all type of stuff, right? Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, no swag. Jimmy Garoppolo, it was better. He had the 2 bars up top. It was better. Still would have liked to see him with the flex, but he didn't have the flex. Now, Trey Lance has the flex. So it's just the way the face mask on the flex, on the Revo flex is, it's a little bit better, but still nothing too, it's just missing the one bar. So I want him to have the same face mask as like Dak Prescott. So if you guys want to Google a picture of Dak Prescott, or maybe I can share my screen and kind of go through and kind of show you guys what this swag is supposed to look like. I think, you know what? Let's do that. But hold on real quick. Got another contribution. Here we go. Here's a tank and I can't wait. Here's a tank and I can't wait. I like that. I like that. I might have to steal that. He's a tank and I can't wait. What I'm about to do is I'm about to show you guys what we're talking about with these face masks. All right. This is the kind of stuff you guys get on Croc Talk TV. All right. This is the kind of stuff you guys get. Nobody else is gonna bring you guys this type of stuff. Come on now. Come on now. So let's go to Nick Mullins first. Let's go to Nick Mullins first. And I'm just gonna let you guys see just like this is just the nastiness in his helmet, his face mask. What this is just terrible. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys. All right, so here we go. Share screen. All right, hold on. Here we go. Chrome window. And boom, Nick Mullins. All right. So can you guys see this face mask right now? Can y'all see that? Is it big? Pause. Is it big enough? Can you guys see this? So this is nasty. So this is a Revo Speed, and then he has the one bar here. The one bar here is cool, but you just need that other bar right up top. All right. And this just having the one bar makes it unacceptable. And it's ugly. So if you go to CJ Beathard, let's type in CJ Beathard. All right. I promise I didn't plan on talking about this type of stuff, y'all. So CJ Beathard, nasty. Look, he wore the same thing. Just nasty. Just everything about how he looks with his nasty rib cage. It's just all nasty. Even in practice, look at him. It's like a big like windshield on a big rig. It's just you just see everything there, and it's just like, oh man, that's just terrible, right? But go to Jimmy Garoppolo. All right, let's go to Jimmy G. He wears the same face mask, but he has the one bar up top. And for whatever reason, it just makes all the difference. So he has two bars up here. So he has one bar like they have here, but he has two up here. And it just makes all the difference. Why? Listen, I don't know. It's just more aesthetically pleasing. Am I even saying that word right? I don't know. I just kind of learned that word on Twitter. So he has the two bars up here. It's just better, y'all. Listen, I can't tell y'all, why or what I can't tell you why, but it's just better. All right. Now let's talk a little bit about what I would prefer to see. So what's my favorite face mask for a quarterback? My favorite would be, let's see, Tyrod Taylor or Cam Newton. They wear the same thing. Andy Dalton wears it, looks really good. It's just now this is the shut with the two bar up top. This is my favorite look right here. Boom. If you want to throw a visor on there, great. It looks awesome, right? Just this face mask in general with the visor, obviously it looks really cool. You don't got to have a visor, but it looks cool with the visor. Let's go Cam Newton because he wears the same thing. All right. Now, obviously, this is having anything to do with play because, Tom Brady wears an ugly face mask and helmet and all that, and, he's winning out there. But this is my favorite helmet for quarterbacks. It's just a shut, two bar, and boom, you look good. All right. Now, here is Trey Lance. All right. Trey Lance at North Dakota. So he's good right here. This is what I want to see. Got the two bar up here. That's great, Trey. That's great. Looking good. Got the visor on there. Looking good. Here's a bigger picture of it. That's perfectly fine right there. Now this is the flex. All right. This is the Revo Flex. Again, hey, listen, y'all not gonna get this type of content anywhere else. All right. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit that like button. All right. So this is good. This is good on Trey Lance. But then right here too, good. You know what I'm saying? Got the two bars up top, got the one, got the visor on there. Great. But then he got to the 49ers. And do I got a picture of it? There's no mini camp picture of Trey Lance. Oh, here we go. Boom. So he got to the 49ers. And again, this is definitely better than what Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard wore because it's the flex. So it's just the face mask isn't as big. All right. So it's not as bad, but it's still like, bro, you had the clean one before. Why switch up? All right. Why switch up? But all right, that's enough of that. We're going to get off of that. I know you guys didn't come here to talk about some face mask and stuff. I don't even know how we got on the topic of that. Again, I think the same person left the last contribution, huh? Was it? Yeah, Kent. Hey, thank you for the contribution. That's two contributions in one show. I really appreciate you. I'm gonna get that camera in no time. All right. So enough of that. Let's get to some of these questions. All right. And you know what? Here too. So I want you guys to be a part of the show. All right. So copy here. And so anybody that wants to be on the show, there you go. Again, Kent, thank you for the contribution. All right. If you had to guess, when do you think Trey Lance would start? I'd say I think Trey Lance will start after the bye. I'm gonna give him after the bye. Playing against a big dog team, I think it's a nationally televised game, so it's like maybe they don't want to throw him in that situation. I don't care how high level of a kid this dude is, how great of a young man he is, and all that. Those nerves, are real. So I definitely think there will be a lot of nerves if he has to play his first game on Sunday Night Football on national television with everybody watching. Everybody will be watching. I wonder what kind of game plan Kyle Shanahan would throw out for him. So, but I mean, I'd say, you kind of look. Obviously, you got to see how Jimmy Garoppolo is playing. If Jimmy Garoppolo is playing well, then we'll see. If Jimmy Garoppolo is kind of playing how he used to play, and again, I know we look at Jimmy Garoppolo and it's like, yeah, Jimmy wins. Yes, definitely, Jimmy definitely wins. But even in his wins, it ain't always pretty. And if it ain't always pretty, and listen, this is the one thing I've heard other people talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it as well. Jimmy is not a great practice player. He's not. So if Jimmy ain't a good practice player, and this kid comes out, and if he's as sharp as he just was in rookie minicamp, which it ain't gonna be that easy when you have a pass rush and you have D Ford out there, and it sounds like D Ford is gonna play, right? D Ford and Nick Bosa and all these other guys kind of rushing after you and stuff like that, and that's gonna speed up your clock a little bit. And we'll see if this kid is as sharp as he was in 7-on-7. But even then, Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't been the best practice player, hasn't been the sharpest, so there's a chance that this kid could beat him out by default because of what Garoppolo looks like in practice. And would anybody be surprised? Would any of y'all be surprised by that? Not the fact that he beat him out, but like the fact that he beat him out because Jimmy isn't a great practice player. And it's like, if you're just watching Jimmy Garoppolo and you're like, you have to bank on the fact that, I know he's a gamer. And even in games a lot early on and stuff like that, his game is up and down, even in the Super Bowl run, right? Even last year, look at the first game against Cardinals. Wasn't really great, right? Now you could say he didn't have, you could say there's a couple guys he didn't have, right? He didn't have Ayuk, he didn't have Debo, but I mean, he still had an opportunity to win the game, and he underthrew Kendrick Bourne in the end zone. So he's definitely known to do some weird stuff throughout games. We'll see if Jimmy. We'll see how he comes into camp. Does he look sharp? I think I'll say this, if Jimmy does come out sharp, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Like ideally, could we see what we saw from Alex Smith with the Cardinals? I mean, with the Chiefs. Now let's talk about it a little bit, right? The Chiefs traded up 17 spots? They moved up 17 spots to draft Alex Smith, right? So they drafted Alex Smith, and Patrick Mahomes, excuse me. They drafted Patrick Mahomes. Alex Smith started the whole year, and not just started, he had his best year. Now, I looked into some of these numbers a little bit on when Alex Smith, from the year that Mahomes was there and the year before that, all right? So he threw 16 more passes. Both years he played 15 games, right? Because remember, Mahomes started that last game in his rookie season. So both years, Alex Smith played 15 games. But in the year with Mahomes, he threw 16 more passes and had 500 more yards, threw for over 4,000 yards. It was like 28 touchdowns or 26 touchdowns and 5 picks. Played great, right? What was the difference? Why all of a sudden did Alex Smith just start balling? I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that it's like, man, the writing's on the wall. They want this young guy to play. They want this rookie to play. So, you know what? I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to be loose. I'm going to play loose. I'm going to just play loose and just do my thing. And I think that's what he did. And I think that helped him play better. Ken Garoppolo, I say all that to say Ken Garoppolo did the same thing. Ken Garoppolo say, you know what? The writing goes on the wall. They want this young dude to play. So I'm not going to be tight. I'm not going to act like I got to be perfect. I'm just going to go out there and throw the ball around, and I'm going to be a little bit more loose. I'm going to make plays, and I'm going to do my thing. And can we see the best version of Jimmy Garoppolo that we've ever seen? Because right now, I mean, what is the best version of Jimmy Garoppolo? So I think we can see an even better version, potentially. All right. So let's start answering these questions. I know I've gone off on a couple rants. Croc, I think the comparison on Lance is there is no competition. He's smart enough, talented enough, and physically enough to be able to create his own niche and style as a QB moving forward. Your thoughts? I like that. I like that. I think he definitely has a unique ability. It sounds like he's a unique talent. Obviously we see he's not the first guy that's like what he is, but I think his mindset is what kind of sets him apart from certain guys. I think that's something to really, be excited about. How's that gonna, at the end of the day, there's still a jump, right? There's still a transition. You're going from an FCS school, North Dakota State, going to the NFL, playing in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. You got the Arizona Cardinals early on. You're going to line up and, you're not seeing whoever they saw playing North Dakota State, whoever they saw as pass rushers. I'll tell you who it wasn't. It wasn't Chandler Jones and it wasn't J.J. Watt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't those type of guys. So there's going to be a transition and it's not always going to be smooth. But I think the one thing that could help the 49ers with them, kind of maybe potentially starting him early on is the fact that it's like, bro, we got goddamn the Lions, and then you got the Lions, and then you have the Eagles. So after preseason, if you're saying like he's sharp, he looked good, and all that, you want to make the move to have him start in his first two starts against those teams. I think that's a good that'd be easier easing them in than the middle of the year against the Colts. So yes, sir. All right, here we go. I'm back in the comments, y'all. I'm back in the comments. Here we go. Okay, show us the Dak helmet. I know I forgot to show you guys Dak Prescott helmet. Okay, hold on. I will bring it up. So Dak Prescott. First, let me share my screen. All right. I appreciate you guys being in here. Remember, if you guys aren't already, make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button. All contributions are accepted. All right, so again, this is Trey Lance, right? And this is good. This is still an upgrade over CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. Essentially, they have the same helmet face mask combination, but they have like an older one. They don't have the flex. They have the Revo speed. All right, so the flex is definitely better. And then you have Dak Prescott. Let's see it. Dak Prescott. All right. And he also wears a visor with his. Well, all these pictures, he don't got a visor on with it. But there you go. So see, he just has 2 bars up top. And that's it. It ain't nothing too crazy, right? It's solid. And it's like, well, why didn't you do that? I'm confused as to why Trey Lance didn't get this one. He wore this in college. This is Trey Lance's college helmet. Look, he wears the visor and everything. This is basically what Trey Lance had. And somehow he went to the 1 bar up top. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But yeah, that's Dak Prescott. All right. So here we go. I always wore the Dickerson face mask. Me too. So I wore the Dion. I wore the we call it Dion or Dickerson. You can call it either or. The OGs typically call it the Dickerson. I'm old enough to be an OG, I believe, especially now. I'm about to be 34 in 4 days. All right. I don't care about my birthday, so I don't be knowing what my birthday is. But yeah, I wore that too. I get what you're talking about with the face mask. Real football heads understand how important you look in your gear. Some people care about it, some people don't. But me personally, it's just something that really sticks out to me. And I don't know why I care about it so much, but I just can't help it. It's like at home, I really like everything clean. Like I like vacuuming and seeing the lines, right? So it's just like when you vacuum but you don't see the lines, it's just something like, man, like how you vacuum and not see the lines, right? You want to make sure you see the lines. It's just like that, like with me watching football and seeing how a player got their drip on. Now, everybody's drip is going to be different. I think your style on the field should be tailored to you and your personality. It was just weird to see Trey Lance actually go backwards. Like you had the cool face mask. Why switch up? So that was very interesting. All right, here we go. Don't matter who in the damn helmet. Yeah. Here we go, bro. I'm only want to start noticing that because of you. Yeah, you might. And if you follow me enough on Twitter, especially like during the season, I'll point out little different things. I might have a segment on this Croc Talk TV show where we just point out all about like aesthetics. Is that the right word? Jimmy will look good with any face mask. No, no. I mean, you could say that Jimmy is handsome or whatever, but you still, if you got an ugly face mask, you still got an ugly face mask. You know what I'm saying? So that ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change. Here we go. What else we got? Okay, I posted the link in here so you guys can kind of come in here anytime you guys want. There's something you guys want to talk about. All right, here we go. QB should wear a darkened mask. Why defenses look at QB's eyes to see where he is shifting? Unless, yeah, there's some QBs that have worn, and I think we look at tinted like visors and think that it's got to be hella dark. There are definitely different levels. Just like window tint, there's different levels of tint with your visor. So you can have like one that's just clear, right? And it's just boom, it's just clear. Or you can have 20%. You can go like 15%, I think. And there's like 5%, and then there's like, you know what I'm saying? But like Mike Vick wore a dark visor and it wasn't pitch black, it was like 15% or something like that. So there was like just a nice tint to it. I think even that would kind of help not seeing the quarterback's eyes a little bit. Lanier and Thomas will get playing time this year. What do you think? I think there's definitely an opportunity for it. I think when you look at the 49ers in their cornerback position, one, were they going to bring back Kawhi Williams all along? Were they going to bring back Verrett all along? Those were two guys that they let hit free agency. So that lets me know they are definitely willing to move on from them. So I think if you can have guys like Lanier, and history says you're probably not going to hit on both guys. But and I only want to say that because remember, a few years back, this is going to sound weird too, me talking about this, but a few years back, the 49ers drafted two cornerbacks. And when I say a few years back, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. But they drafted Rashard Robinson and they drafted Will Redmond, right? I want to say one was like a third round pick. Redmond, right? Redmond was like a third round pick coming off an ACL injury, the bulky special. And then the other one with Rashard Robinson, he was like a fourth round pick out of LSU, right? Didn't play the year, had the off-field issues and whatnot. I will say this about those guys. They're both still in the NFL. Rashard Robinson started games last year for Dallas Cowboys. Will Redmond has played a bunch for the Packers, played in the nickel. So there is a chance that Lanier and Thomas have legit NFL careers to where they play multiple years and they play on multiple teams. Obviously, you would like to hit on both guys and they just play their entire career with the 49ers, and that could be a possibility. But I think as far as them getting playing time this year, I think there's an opportunity there that they can take advantage of. And the 49ers are looking like when Kyle Shanahan be talking that competitive stuff, he really mean that. He means that. Like he really means that. Look, these spots are like be competitive. Like take this job. Now, obviously, there's still politics in the game. And the higher you're drafted, the more they're gonna kind of give you. They're gonna give you more opportunities. Period. Like it just is what it is. But Thomas, he's third round pick. They want you on the field. So I'm telling you, if Thomas come in, don't let him be better than Mosley. Don't even let it be close. Because if it's close, you're gonna start seeing Thomas in there. Facts. Lanier, he got a little bit more work to do, a little bit later round. But I think where he can help himself is being that versatile defensive back, right? So Lanier, somebody that obviously, play outside. I gotta start to hear. I want to ask. I'm gonna talk to some people and see did he play? Did he take some snaps inside? I'm gonna try to get the inside scoop on all that. But the more versatile you are, the better. I think that's a lot of what helped Emmanuel Mosley. Mosley, and people forget about this from his rookie year. Everybody talked about Tarvarius McFadden. He's the guy, the 6'2" guy. I watched the film. Like, no, this Mosley guy is better. And what they do, they cut Tarvarius McFadden and they kept Emmanuel Mosley on the practice squad, right? What helped him? Well, if you go back to that preseason, you will see Mosley in there on the outside. Then when they ran the sub package, Mosley was in the inside. You know what I'm saying? That versatility, that helps you a lot to have that added versatility. So if Lanier can play inside and outside, that would be a big help for him. All right. Demo will get playing time for sure. We'll see. You got to stack plays. You got to keep stacking plays, bro. Like that's the biggest thing. You got to keep stacking plays. Since when is D Ford expected to play? I think since they haven't let him go. I mean, I don't think that they. And again, I mean, when we say expected to play, I'm not. I don't know if he's going to be just this. I think they have insurance for him, right? That's what Ebucam, Ecubam, Ecubum, Ebucam. All right, the guy from the Rams. I think that's what he's there for, insurance. Right now, it's a little bit more expensive insurance, but it's just like, look, if we don't have D4, we have somebody that can play in a similar role. All right, but D4's on the team. They ain't cut him. They restructured his contract, whatever. They can't get rid of him. So you're better off just like, all right, let's see if he plays. So I expect D Ford to be there playing. I know it sounds weird because we've been told all along he's played his last snaps as a 49er. But I expect D Ford to play. I expect him to play. Okay, got a contribution. Let's go. Best D backfield Niners with Goldson, Rogers, T Brown. Listen, extremely underrated. First of all, 10. Thank you for the contribution. I appreciate that. Let's get it. Let's get it. But I think that they are very underrated. That whole group. Rogers, Goldson, Whitner, T Brown. I think even like some of those times they had like Paris Cox playing in the nickel and stuff like that. Like, bro, that group was so underrated. People talk about it as if the secondary was bad. Now, I will say this: you have a great front. It definitely helps the back end, and they probably had help. You know what I'm saying from that standpoint. But they played well. They played very well. I think they covered extremely well. I thought they did their job. Like you're not gonna have that good of a defense. Like I don't care how good your front is if the guys in the backfield can't cover at all. So very underrated group. Goldson is actually one of my favorite 49er players ever. I love the way that Goldson played, the way he flew around. People say he couldn't cover. Dude took the ball away a ton. Had 6 picks in 1 year. Want to say he was like all pro. So people talk about a lot about that group. But my thing on that group is I thought they played some damn good football. That whole secondary. So yeah, I really like that secondary. I think they were a big part of those championship runs for the 49ers. I don't know why they get hated on, but they do. There's a lot of people that hate on them, especially Goldson. They'd be like, he can't cover, he couldn't. Man, Goldson was out there doing his thing. He did his thing. I want Jimmy to go. Since our Super Bowl loss, he is a weak body player without the game. Our team would have been under 500. Wait, I want Jimmy to go. Yeah, the tough thing is just if you don't have to let Jimmy go, then you're better off just kind of keeping him. I don't think there's any rush to get rid of him. Now, if somebody just comes and offers, something you can't refuse, then buy Jimmy, right? Then somebody comes and says, hey, we'll give you a first. Then yeah. But nah, man. I think you're better off just kind of keeping him. I think he's more valuable. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is more valuable on the Niners than he is to another team, unless there's just some big injury to another team. But I think right now it's like, and I said this, a lot of people got mad at me because of my comment, but I was like, if they only were going to get a 6 for Teddy Bridgewater, I don't think that the market for Garoppolo would be big either. I said I didn't think that Garoppolo would have that much more value than Bridgewater. And it sounds crazy, but I don't think that the value is that much more for Jimmy Garoppolo, somebody who, one, makes way more money, right? You're talking about $27 million a year, and two, can't stay healthy. So it's like, why would I give up all these assets for somebody who the 49ers are moving on because they couldn't trust him to stay healthy? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't think the 49ers are going to get that much for him. Now, if the team gets thirsty, right? They get a little thirsty, they get a little desperate because their starting quarterback goes down with an injury, then yeah, at that point, definitely. At that point, you could potentially get a first round. We saw the Vikings trade the Eagles. This was Carson Wentz rookie year, right? We saw the Vikings say, shoot, man. Vikings was like, shoot, we'll give you a first for Sam Bradford. We lost a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Teddy Bridgewater went down with a torn ACL. We lost our quarterback. So yeah, we'll give you a first round. So if a team gets thirsty, they can definitely go and get and offer you something like that for Garoppolo. But I think as of right now, if I ain't getting no first or second round pick, like I'm not moving him for a third. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think his value is that high right now, unless there's an injury. All right. Here we go. Ronnie Burton, what's up, big dog? What's good with you? Again, here's the link. Anybody that wants to kind of join in on the conversation. Boom. You got something you want to say to everybody? We got almost 200 people in here. 200 of my nearest and dearest friends. What's happening? Lance work, feet work looks better. I want to see the deep throws. Hey, we all want to see the deep throws, but I explained it earlier when we were in here, and I talked about mini camp. Mini camp is done in progressions, right? So, like, the first day of rookie mini camp, when all the media is supposed to be there and stuff, like they weren't just gonna throw everything at their rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They weren't going to throw everything at him. It was always going to be like, this is what, we got to bring them along. And they would do that for any quarterback, whether it was Nate Sudfeld, whether it was Josh Rosen, or anybody that's being a quarterback and rookie minicamp. They start from the very, 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 very basics. They just want to see guys execute. They want to see guys be able to play fast without thinking a whole lot. Now, the first day, they start with very basics. Second day, they start to build on that. They might add some boots and stuff. Third day, they might add some downfield shots and start stretching the field. Usually, coaches, they have they have what you call a play script for practice. All right, so all coaches have a play script for practice. So on that play script, it's very specific. The offense knows what it is. The defense knows what it is. Or defensive coaches. Usually, defensive players don't know. Offensive players, I feel like they be knowing the play script. But defensive guys, we don't look. We just react. But they do certain things to see how guys are going to react. They might even put you in a bad situation to see if you are going to make a bad mistake or are you going to correct yourself and be able to make a play. So I know a lot of people want to see the deep throws from Trey Lance. Trust me, they'll get there. But they're just not there yet with installing. At least they weren't the first day. Pretty sure if they were there the second day, you might start seeing some downfield shots. Again, we got 200 people in here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys hit that like button. All right, got 200 in here watching right now, so there's no excuse for me to not have 200 likes. Let's go. You play with Rex Ryan, right? Was he cool? Did you get a lot of snacks? All right, so Rex Ryan. Rex was the best coach I've ever been around. Rex was the best coach I've ever been around. Rex Ryan was extremely smart. He's somebody whose dad created an entire defense, right? He created the Bear defense and whatnot, right? So you got Rex, whose dad created this defense. Rex knew it like the back of his hand. I mean, he knew every single thing about this defense. And still, what he did was he talked about it. First of all, it's not even him knowing the defense like the back of his hand. It was how much. Oh, let me get to the super chat real quick, y'all. Hold on. I'll get back to that. I'm going to get back to Rex Ryan. All right, but here we go. Mark, I appreciate the contribution. Let's go. I appreciate it. Let's go. All right. With the beefed up running game and the O-line help, you think that Trey could start the season and win games? I think Trey can win games because I think Trey is a talented guy. But even then, there's always going to be that transition. Now, it's like anything else, and I hear John Middlecoff say it all the time. You learn by doing. So at the end of the day, he's going to have to just get in there and play, and you're going to have to figure it out from there. But there's going to be a transition. And there's going to be some really good moments, and there's going to be some things that they can do with him right away. They're going to have to build on those things, but there's going to be some moments that aren't that great. All right, we got my guy James coming on. But 1 second, James, I'm about to where's the thing at? Somebody asked me about Rex Ryan. All right, well, I'll just leave this up real quick. James, I'm about to get to you right now. I got to really say my piece real quick about Rex Ryan. So Rex Ryan is a little bit misunderstood, I'd say, because he kind of comes out in the media and he has kind of this brash mentality or, and whatnot, right? He comes off as this like me. But really what it is Rex feels like he puts the most confidence in his guys that they can execute. So he talks a big game because he's like, listen, I know y'all going to have my back. You know what I'm saying? And he is the ultimate player coach. Rex is the ultimate player coach, you know, but not just a player coach. He's an amazing teacher. I've learned more about kind of how to like teach guys based on him, the way he gets you to understand things. And obviously, again, knowing the Bear defense like the back of his the defense that his dad created, like he is the defensive guy, but still takes into consideration what the players want to do. I remember Calvin Pace was like, what did Calvin Pace say? He was like, hey, coach, what about on this play? Can I do this? And, you know, can I do that or whatever? And Rex was like, yeah, we'll do it. Now, if it doesn't work, we ain't doing it again. But just how he empowers his players. And you'll see like there's like a lot of high school coaches where it's just like, this is how we do it. We doing it this way. And there ain't no other way. I know this defense, blah, blah. We're talking about somebody whose dad created defense. And he's still flexible with how he does. So ultimate player coach, an amazing teacher. Real quick, I'll tell you guys a story. I don't want to make my YouTube X-rated or whatever, but so there's Mariah. I hope you don't get offended by this, Mariah, because I'm gonna say something and I don't want you to get offended. All right, but so I'm trying to think. Should I say this story? So we're doing install. All right, we're doing install, and Rex is getting ready to install some new plays, right? So he asked, and this is how he teaches. But I remember this, 7, 8 years later, I still remember this. All right. So we're in there. And Rex Ryan says, and again, forgive me, Mariah. I don't know if you're the only female in here. Forgive me. But Rex Ryan asked, how many of you guys, he was like, raise your hand if you like bald pussy, right? So a bunch of guys raise their hand, right? A bunch of guys raise their hand. And Rex was like, okay. So then Rex says, how many of you guys like a landing strip? Right? So some guy, guys raise their hand like, y'all like a little landing strip, whatever. And then Rex says, how many of you guys like a muff? Right? So, like nobody raised their hand, just a couple of coaches, right? So it was like, yeah, you're OG like me, like you old school like me. So, you like the muff, whatever. So he's like, so this play is called show muff, blah, 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 blah. Then he explains the play and stuff like that. And it's just like, damn, like, it's just the way that he engages with the players to teach them certain things. Like there were other things, and maybe down the line, I'll get to some of the other stories and whatnot, but it was just, him calling me by, my name. Hey, Croc, heard you got some teeth pulled. How you feeling? Like when other coaches, a lot of coaches, you're just a number. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not like the guy. So somebody asked me, I couldn't find the question, but somebody asked me about Rex Ryan. And I have all kind of really nothing but good things to say about Rex Ryan and the type of coach that he is. And it sucks that I wanted him to get the job when they hired Chip Kelly. I'm like, please, like, interview Rex Ryan, like interview Rex. It was either Chip or it was Tom Sula. But I wanted them to interview Rex because Rex, like, he's going to have them 49ers. It's like, what? Seahawks? We're going to beat the Seahawks ass. Like, and he's going to make everybody on that team feel like they're going to go to Seattle and smack the Seahawks around. And that was at a time when the 49ers have been getting just drugged by Seattle for years at that point. So, yeah, he said, ooh, I thought this story was going to be a foot thing. Nah, the story was not a foot thing. All right, but I appreciate my guy James for hanging in there. Again, Mark, I appreciate the contribution. James, what up, baby?
What's up, Crop?
I need to put my headphones on. Here we go. How'd you like the story?
That was funny.
Yeah, I saw you laughing in there. I saw you laughing a little bit. Nah, Rex was a great guy.
I was gonna say that's true Rex. It sounds like a true Rex story.
Yeah, and I got some more stories. So I'll end up, the more you guys kind of tune into these things, I'll tell some more stories, as long as it's not too like revealing.
Right. So I got this thing playing out two ways, man. I got it playing. So Jimmy, I hear you on the week 6 bye, right? Like coming off with the Colts. That's tough, right? But I feel like if Jimmy got us like 7-1, around there, or 6-0, or 5-1, or something like that, I feel like you can't pull him. So I feel like going like I
you
think
can't.
How
You're right. You're right. If the 49ers are like, if they're clicking and they're just, then you got to go with them. Now, here's the thing, though, because even though the 49ers are winning with Garoppolo, they can still be winning in spite of him, right? So if you kind of go
That's true.
back to 2019 and, and the game against the Buccaneers, where it was ugly offensively. Jimmy threw a pick six. They ultimately won that game because the two interceptions ran back for touchdowns from Richard Sherman and Keller Witherspoon. Like, if he has games like that early on, where it's like, well, we are winning. Okay, we are 4-0, but it's like, damn, Jimmy don't look sharp, right? Had a game against the Browns that year where the 49ers, went crazy, had a 90-yard run to start the game by Breda, and the 49ers just didn't look back. But you look at a lot of Garoppolo's numbers, they weren't great. Played the Rams early that year as well. Look at Garoppolo's game. It was really sketchy, the whole thing. Like, it looked weird. Played the Rams again. He threw 2 interceptions. Like, one to Ramsey, but luckily 49ers had the pick 6 from Fred Warner. So I say all that to say, like, there is a scenario where the 49ers are 6-0, but your eye test, you're still going to kind of see, like, damn, does Garoppolo give us the best chance to win, or are we winning in spite of him? And I think that's kind of, that's a scenario. And I'm sorry I cut you off, but I think that's a scenario where even with a good record, there's a chance that they could still potentially go with Trey Lance down the line.
But do you think if they do that, it'll mess up the locker room aspect? Like, for instance, you got guys who, like, for instance, like your Fred Warners, even though Kittle just got paid, but, he's all like, Jimmy's my guy. And, would it mess up the locker room? That's I guess where I'm going. Like, it can mess up the vibe in the locker room. And then the next thing you could go through a 2-3 game losing streak. And then next thing you know, you could be with the NFC. I think it's going to be real deep this year. And 2-3 games could end up being, on the road versus, obviously, because you're not that 1 seed. If you get that 1 seed, you got that automatic bye the first week in the playoffs. Outside of that, you're toast pretty much. You kind of, you're on the road and or kind of hoping that the team coming in ain't hot like how Tampa Bay did to Washington last year.
Yeah, so to answer kind of your question about like the team, the locker room and stuff like that, like the team knows like how a quarterback is playing. So if he's just did wrong, then like, yeah. But like if it looks sketchy, and I mean, everybody, first of all, they already know what the situation is now. Like Trey Lance is the future. Everybody on that roster knows that. Everybody. So they know he's going to be playing. It's just a matter of when, right? And Kyle has kind of gone out and said, well, we'll play him when he's ready. And when he's ready, everybody will be able to tell that this kid is ready. So they end up pulling Garoppolo because the young guy's ready and maybe Garoppolo's plays up and down. I think everybody will respect it. As far as guys like, Romo, I had this story in my head with Terrell Owens and those guys. Like, I don't think it's a situation like that where, you had Terrell Owens saying, well, he just wants to throw the ball to his best friend, Jason Witten, all the time and blah, blah, blah. Like, I should be getting the ball. Like, I think so that could split a locker room, right? Like, stuff like that. I don't think this would be a situation like that. I think it'd be very more so like, just like, okay, this is what it is. And I think everybody will understand that, including guys like George Kittle. George Kittle knows once he saw that quarterback pick, it's like, Jimmy is a dead man walking. And I mean, it is what it is. So these guys all know it's a business. And Garoppolo knows it as well. Garoppolo has also said, like, as Kyle Shanahan has said it, Garoppolo has said it, his health is the issue. His health has been the issue more so than anything else. His health has forced us into being desperate enough to give all those assets up for a quarterback. So when he gets pulled, it's not going to be because of anybody else but himself. Like, Jimmy, you're the reason why we're in this situation to begin with. So I don't know how mad he could be about it.
Appreciate you, Croc, man. Keep doing your thing.
All good. Appreciate you coming on. All right. Yes, sir. Anybody that wants to come in, again, we got the StreamYard chat right there. Just click that button right there. All right. Let's get into some of these questions that I see. All right. Get it, EC. Add a live with Grant Cohn and build it up. One love. I will. And make sure, speaking of building it up, make sure if you guys are in here right now, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now. Not now, but right now. I heard that in a rap song. I just always wanted to say that. Here we go. Start to answer some of these questions. Eric with a K. Huh. Come on, man. It's Eric with a C. Eric with a K just always look kind of. You don't think that's funny, Dane? I'm gonna call you Dane. I can't call you Eric with a K. All right. Simply having Trey out there will force defenses to respect the quarterback run and deep pass, which will open up things over the middle and in the running game. No argument or disagreement from me there. Obviously, teams will make Trey Lance have to prove that he can make those throws. And there's going to be an adjustment period where they adjust to him, and then he's going to have to adjust to the adjustment from them. And those are things that you're going to see as a rookie. But, overall, I think definitely in theory, right, with what you feel like you're getting from Trey Lance, he will be somebody who the teams have to respect more of the field while he's out there. All right. I just had somebody on and then they kind of disappeared. We'll see if they come back in here. He not running on the Panthers defense. Is this a Panther? Vio Thon. Are you a Panther fan? Are you a Panthers fan? If you are a Panthers fan and you're in here, I love it. I love that the Panthers drafted J.C. Horn. I know there were a lot of people that were like, J.C. Horn. Like, y'all going to love J.C. Horn. He's a big dog. He's going to come in and be the alpha of that secondary from the jump. And now you're going to have two alphas because I think Jeremy Chin, he's another big dog out there too, had a terrific rookie year. I'd expect a lot of the same from J.C. Horn. I know that's a lot to live up to. Any rookie is going to have their ups and downs, but you guys should be really excited about J.C. Horn and what he's going to bring to that defense overall. Big dog mentality. I like it. Put it this way. If you were a defensive coordinator, who would you rather have to scheme for, Jimmy G or Trey Lance? Jimmy G. Jimmy G excels at, okay, here's my thoughts on Jimmy, all right, and what he's good at. And I think Jimmy, there's one area where he is terrific. And playing in rhythm and timing, Jimmy Garoppolo is terrific. He can turn his back to a defense, snap his head around, and hit a slant in stride, and that creates a lot of yards after catch for these guys. He will squeeze it and attempt to squeeze it into the tightest of windows. And a lot of times he will get it in there. If you can remember, even like the pass that went for a touchdown against the Rams last year, right, at home, George Kittle catching the slant, taking it to the crib. Jimmy will throw those tight window throws. We've seen it, plenty of them. Now, as far as who I would like to scheme against, definitely him, because where does Jimmy win, right? Everything he wins is over the middle. So it condenses everything. Now, what makes Jimmy more dangerous is the fact that you not only have to take into account Jimmy Garoppolo, but also that goddamn guy that's the puppet master calling the plays. And it's him. It's Kyle Shanahan. He makes it difficult when you have Jimmy on the field. But as far as Jimmy and kind of scheming against what he does well, we know he wants to throw over the middle. So let's crowd that. Let's force him to throw outside the numbers. Let's force him to throw down the field. But really what has helped Jimmy Garoppolo, even though he hasn't been great at doing those things, is been, the stretching sideline to sideline with the shovel passes and jet sweeps and things like that, getting the ball in guys' hands right now, run after catch, a lot of misdirection, and then they hit you with a stretch, big boot, go, boom, bomb, touchdown to George Kittle. So those are the things that make it more difficult. I don't think it's so much Garoppolo. I think Garoppolo is efficient in what he's asked to do, but I would much rather have to defend him than Trey Lance, especially Trey Lance with the puppet master, Kyle Shanahan. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. I hope I answered the question well. All right, here we go. Still answering some of these questions. I appreciate it, y'all. They said that about Lamar too, and not defense have film, and you know how to stop him. So I'm not saying that you're gonna know how to stop him. So there's this thing that because you have film on somebody or whatever, like now all of a sudden you're just gonna stop them. Like, no. Like if it's somebody that's really talented, like you're just really talented. Now, again, the league may catch on to what you're doing and kind of understand how to stop it, but you still have to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like just because you know what somebody likes to do or whatever, and you can put something in place. When you're an elite, talented player like like Lamar Jackson, like you can plan. Mike Tyson said it best. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So you can plan and have a great idea on how you feel like you're going to stop Lamar Jackson, but you still got to stop him. All right. So that's that. All right. But here we go. We got a man on. What's up, man?
What
How you
up?
doing?
I'm good.
I like the shirt.
You know, I
Oh, what's that? You got the LED lights going up around your room?
yep.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Mhm.
My son got those on. He leaves them on all night and stuff. I'm like, man, you're running up the bill. What's on your
Yeah,
mind
that's
though?
my dad. That's what my dad says also.
Yeah, it looks cool
Who do
though.
you?
So,
I have a question for you. Who do you think the Niners' toughest competitor is this season?
ooh, I mean, I talked about like they should possibly start Trey Lance against the Colts, but I think the Colts, man, like to me, they're just a very well-rounded team. They win in the same areas that the 49ers win, right up front. They have a terrific defense, a line that with Buckner, and they just drafted a defensive end high. I want to say Quiddy Petty, the guy from
Quiddy
Michigan.
Pay. Yeah.
Quiddy Pay. There you go. Thank you, man. They just added him. So, the defense is going to be solid. They were really good last year. They draft a lot like the 49ers, good guys, good football players. Offensively, up front, they're good on the line. And then when you start to throw in some of the weapons that they have with, Jonathan Taylor, who's starting to grow into his own, you got some receivers. Michael Pittman, if he can stay healthy, he's a threat. You start looking at T.Y. Hilton. He's the type of receiver that poses problems for the 49ers. And then you got the wild card Carson Wentz, who I think Carson Wentz is very talented.
Same.
And I know he had a bad year last year, but you start looking at some of the weapons that he's going to have with the Colts. This is going to be probably the best roster he's ever been able to play with. And we've seen Carson Wentz play at an MVP caliber level. Can he get back to that? I'm not betting against him when he's with the Cardinals. I mean, with the Colts and that type of organization. But what do you think? What do you think is
Well,
the
roster
toughest?
wise, yeah, the Colts are probably one of the toughest teams that we have to play because that offensive line is also really good compared to our D line is also really good. So that's going to be a tough matchup. Also, our cornerbacks aren't that good, which are receivers. So like matchup wise, yes, this is the toughest
Mm-hmm.
team. But I don't think this is the toughest team that we're gonna play this season. In my opinion, every season the toughest team that we play is the Seahawks. Not roster wise, but every year when we play the Seahawks, it goes down to the last second, like fourth quarter. It always comes down where it's between who wins in the fourth quarter, who scores more points, who gets the defensive stops. It's always against the Seahawks where we have to try to win the game and stop Russell Wilson. It's never like we're blowing the Seahawks out. We like I when we play when like last 2019 when we would play like the Packers and stuff like that. I've like see record predictions. We have us losing to the Packers and we beat the Packers. When we have the Seahawks, it's kind of like mixed where it's like who's good. It's as some people say Niners, some people play the Seahawks, and like when we play like teams where it's like people had the Packers beating us, we completely obliterated the Packers in 2019.
Yeah.
But when we play like the Seahawks, we don't know who's gonna win, and it's really tight when we play the Seahawks. But I understand your point where you say like the Colts are a pretty tough team for us to play because roster wise it matches up really well. Like Bosa versus like Quentin Nelson, it matches up pretty well. So
Yeah,
I get your point.
I think anytime especially with divisional, rivals or just divisional games in general, those are going to be extremely knockout heavyweight battles. Remember, even in the Super Bowl run, right? The Cardinals weren't great, but both of those games were really good. One of them, 49ers had to come from behind and win on the last drive. So the Rams games, especially that second Rams game where Jimmy Garoppolo had to convert on two third and long plays. Yeah, those divisional games, man, they're just big dog fights. And obviously with the Seahawks, I think I'd expect the same as well.
Same, yeah. And I feel like even though people say Carson Wentz is not bad, really bad, Carson Wentz last year and even the year before that had to play with practice squad wide receivers, and his O line was horrible because they were injured. So he had to play with a backup O line, backup receivers, and that defense is okay, but Doug Peterson's also not the best head coach in my opinion. So Carson Wentz didn't have that much to work with. In Indianapolis, he has Frank Reich, which is his offensive coordinator in Philadelphia, which helped him a lot that year, which helped him, and he was an MVP caliber player that year. And I don't think they would have made the Super Bowl without Carson Wentz playing like an MVP caliber player that year. And Nick
Right.
Foles finished it off, but without Carson Wentz, I don't think they would have won like 13 games and done all of that. So he has Frank Reich in Indianapolis. That offensive line is really really good. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman is also a really good young wide receiver core. And that defense is actually really, really good. DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, that defense is also really good.
Who are you? Why do you know so much about football, man? I'm extremely impressed right now. I'm impressed, dude. That's good. How old are you?
I'm 13.
13. That was what so is sports like talking about sports and stuff like that? Is that what you want to do?
I do. I made my first video just before this with one of my friends. So I like talking sports. I love watching sports. I love learning about sports in general. Yeah.
Can you post a link to your YouTube channel? Is it a YouTube channel you have?
Mm-hmm.
Can you post that in the comments so I can make sure to subscribe?
Sure.
All right, man. I appreciate that. I'm a fan, dude. I'm a fan. Great job coming in today, man. I appreciate it.
See ya.
All right. Dang, that was impressive. Wow. I'm looking at like that just I don't know. That was different. All I could do is smile, like, gosh. He goes on Grant's show a lot. Okay. Yeah. That's some good. I'm gonna have to have him on often. He came with the heat. How y'all doing in here, man? I hope everybody is good. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button. All right. All of that counts. You know, the crazy thing is I don't even know why it counts, but they say it does. So just make sure you do it. What else we talking about, guys? What else we talking about? Yeah, he is awesome. What he said, kid making me question my own fandom, right? I know. So Kim, Niners need to get rid of Jimmy. I don't think that the Niners need to get rid of Jimmy. Now, you know, I obviously, you know, it's not an ideal situation to have two guys that you probably feel like, you know, you can start. But I don't think you just like, yeah, let me just trade him away or cut him. There are a lot of people that cut him. I mean, the money is just there anyways, right? Like the money, there's nothing you can really do about it at this point. But I wouldn't just get rid of Jimmy. Grant Cohn has him polished. So this is Grant's young protege. Amen. That was awesome. I'm actually going to post that on Twitter. Hopefully I can post the whole thing. I don't know how long he was on, but it feels like 2.5 minutes. I'm going to post that on Twitter. I was extremely impressed with that. Croc, you're a real one. Thanks, Dan. Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate that. Yes, sir. Have you seen much of Hufanga? Any thoughts on him? I haven't watched a whole lot of Hufanga, but I'll say this. And I'm about to watch him. I got a guy I'm going on with. They got like this Trojan Wire thing for USC. And obviously me being a 49er guy, him going to my team, I'm going to sit down and watch film with him and break him down. But so I haven't watched a whole lot. I've seen some because I watched a lot of Elijah Griffin. Watched about 7-8 games of Elijah Griffin, the cornerback. So, you know, I watched the USC defense. I'd say I know the numbers. I know what the numbers say. And I don't want to go off the numbers of, oh, he runs a 4.6 and he's not that big and all that. I want the film to tell me how this dude plays. So I don't even want to talk about him too much because I'm going to start to say some cliche stuff and say stuff that probably everybody else is saying. You know, I want to dig down to. Y'all want to do a film study on him tomorrow? Maybe tomorrow we could do a film study on him. I'll see if I have the time and I'll put it out there and we'll sit down and we'll watch it. You guys can get all my thoughts on him that way. Shoot, I can do it right now. I ain't gonna do it right now, but yeah. Here we go. So, Croc, what QB would you start this season and why? I would go in. Okay, so I would go into the season go into this offseason and all this thinking that I'm going to start Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't want to put the pressure on my guy that's the number 3 overall pick coming from North Dakota State, hasn't played in a year. I don't want him to have to come in and feel like he has to be perfect, right? The 49ers are geared to win right now. So if he just naturally beats out Garoppolo, then hell yeah, I'm going with my rookie. but I don't want to put that on him right now, like the expectations of like, well, you just got to start or bust. It's just like, no, there's no expectations for you to have to start. We're gonna go in here with Jimmy Garoppolo starting, but if he happens to beat out Jimmy G, then that's a totally different conversation. Who do you think QB3 is? I think Sudfield. That's his name, right? From the Eagles. Came over from the Eagles. Came over from the Eagles. He was with Scangarillo over there. He just, I don't know. Even his last name just sounds like somebody that's like a good third quarterback on a roster. So I would say Scangarillo. I would say Sudfield. You played in the league. So what do you say these people who claim is rigged like WWE? Dude, no. It ain't rigged. It ain't rigged. I'll just say that. NFL not no damn rigged. Now, okay, we'll say this. Say the NFL is rigged. If it is rigged, the players aren't involved in the rigging and the coaches aren't involved. So who's involved? Maybe the refs calling the game a certain way. I could possibly see that. But as far as like in WWE, everybody involved knows that it's just a show. It's just entertainment, right? Like everybody knows in WWE, like what the result is going to be. In the NFL, if there is any type of rigging going on, the coaches and players don't know. Like coaches spend too many hours. Listen, they're in the offices early, 6 a.m. or whatever. They're not leaving till late at night. Like these dudes are not going to put in this type of time, game planning, doing all this, that, and the other, just to already know the result of what's going to happen. No way. So, no, NFL ain't rigged. I've seen some things people like, nah, bro. Nah. His inaccuracies are fixable. Yes, he needs to learn how to slide. He played 1 year. Kyle's seen enough to see that he can fix his mechanics. Lance has good vision and makes good decisions with the ball. And I'll say this. I always talk about what's fixable, what's not fixable. And I think Trey Lance has a lot of things that he does that, very well, that one is, or, things that you can't teach, those type of traits that he possesses. The things that he needs to improve on, you could talk about accuracy, and I don't even think the accuracy is as bad. I don't think it's as bad as people say. We're talking about somebody who was a 67% passer, wasn't throwing a whole lot of screens and things like that, was actually push the ball down the field a lot. Obviously, he can get more comfortable as a pure passer, but I think that exacerbated, is that a word? Whereas like, we'll just say exaggerated. I think the accuracy stuff is a little exaggerated when it comes to Trey Lance. And I think that where he does need to improve, those things are fixable. Probably his feet, things like that. A lot of it starts with the feet. Yeah. Hoping Josh Rosen, let's see. Hoping Josh Rosen can win that third spot doesn't sound like it at this point. I think part of being a backup quarterback, and again, I don't know anything about Josh Rosen or what type of player he is or anything like that. And, but part of being a good backup quarterback is like accepting your role as a backup quarterback. Like, just kind of knowing and being there to like really help the rookie and like, or any starting quarterback, kind of being there as like the buddy, being an extension of like the coaching staff. And you don't want that backup quarterback to have to play. I think the 49ers spend way too much time talking about the backup quarterback position. Now, obviously, like it's different this year with Garoppolo and Trey Lance because they're, you got one guy that's, going to be the starter. You got another guy who you want to be the starter. That's different because eventually, one of those guys is going to be the backup. But just in general, 49ers spend way too much time talking about the backup quarterback. And the reason why is because, like, damn, your starting quarterback's just always hurt. So we've seen guys like CJ Beathard have to play way too much. Nick Mullins have to play way too much. Like, that stuff is not ideal. Nobody else is having this many conversations about the backup quarterback. So, if Rosen is the third quarterback, like, you're going to suck anyways, most likely, if he has to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why he would be the third quarterback. Otherwise, somebody else would want him and he'd be a starter. Maybe he can be good in a more consistent environment. I think that he's kind of been dealt a bad hand a little bit. I don't want to say he's been dealt a bad hand, but not ideal. Playing 1 year on one of the worst teams in the league. The next year getting traded because a new coaching staff comes in, going to a team and like, okay, you have an off season, but nothing, too crazy. Crazy. Then you end up getting cut from there from the Dolphins. Like maybe there's something with him. So that's the toughest part that you really don't know. Croc, he's on Grant Show all the time. Yeah, shoot. Somebody needs to hire that man. 13 years old. He was extremely impressive. That's my favorite part of 2021. No better than Mullins. Right? Yeah. I mean, and again, so here's the thing with Nick Mullins and Beathard. They are not supposed to play as much as they've played. They're not supposed to play that much. That's the biggest issue. You got two guys that are playing way more than you ideally would want to see them play. You're supposed to just think like, okay, I have a solid backup with Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins is the perfect backup. Nick Mullins is the perfect backup. And I think he's somebody who he's going to be good to the starting quarterback, and he's going to know everything that he's supposed to do. He's going to know where to go with the ball and stuff. Yes, he's physically limited. He can come in and he can finish off a game, and he might even be able to start you a game. But once you start going past that, you start talking about 3 starts, 4 starts, 5 starts, all that, he's going to suck. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So it's Jimmy's fault that we even know that Mullins sucks. Who is better, Croc, Owens or Johnson? What Johnson you talking about? Calvin Johnson or Ocho Cinco? How much of a need is a wide receiver 3 for the 49ers? I don't know. I think it's not sexy, but I think Richie James could be a good wide receiver 3. When I say good, I just mean solid. Like Richie James could be a solid wide receiver 3. I don't think that Richie James gets the opportunity to be that guy, or maybe he hasn't taken advantage of it, but it seems like when he's on the field, which he do be on the field, he blocks a lot more so than anything. When he did finally get an opportunity where it's like, goddamn, we don't got nobody else, so we have to throw the ball to Richie James. He had 9 catches for 180 yards. They figured out different ways to get him the ball, in space. He did a terrific job and a touchdown. But typically, I think Richie James could be a solid 3rd receiver. I think he'd be really good, actually. And when I say really good, I mean solid in a 3rd receiver spot. So I would play him. I think I miss Kendrick Bourne a little bit. Kendrick Bourne was really good as a 3rd receiver. And we say 3rd receiver, we mean 4th option because you have George Kittle. As long as Jimmy Garoppolo's not throwing high screens and getting his knees taken out. Mullins will always be tops in my book. As the first start, he beat the Raiders. He sure did. He demolished the Raiders. Demolished them. Yep, his arm was limited. Yep. Calvin. Okay, so you're talking about Calvin Johnson. You said Calvin, you mean Ocho Cinco. So T.O. or Calvin Johnson. T.O. was my guy. Obviously, I think when it comes to Terrell Owens and Calvin Johnson, they are a little different, but T.O. was just freaky, right? I guess if I had to choose one, because T.O. is one of my favorite players, but if I had to choose one, I'm probably going to go with Calvin because I know at the very least, Calvin is not going to give you any issues, right? Instead of causing problems and stuff in the locker room and all that, he's just going to retire. Where T.O. is going to let everybody know exactly how he feels. And I heard him talking about it one time. He was like, his mom or his grandma, just the way they brought him up, like, he's like, bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. And you want guys to speak their mind. You want guys to kind of talk and speak up. But maybe not to the point where it's detrimental to the rest of the team. So that's a tough thing with Terrell Owens. I think Terrell Owens is terrific. I think he's a little underrated, which is crazy because he's widely considered a top 5 receiver, I'd say. But I think he's even better than people even give him credit for. I mean, you talk about somebody that, I mean, I don't know what he ran in the 40-yard dash, but he played like he had a rocket up his ass. Like he played like he ran a 4.3. He was so strong, so physically gifted. He was so competitive. Um, Terrell Owens, man, he was definitely a very, very special player. I don't think he gets love because people consider him a top 5 receiver. But I think it's like, bro, this is the second best receiver ever because there's not people like him. Even Randy Moss, I know that's the conversation. And I love Randy Moss. And I got to watch Randy Moss's entire career. And Randy Moss was special. He was the freak. But I know I'm getting a total package with T.O. And at that point, I really think it's just preference because at the end of the day, you're gonna have a baller with either one of those guys that you get. And again, I know we were talking about Calvin Johnson. I think he gives you a lot of that as well. I know with Calvin Johnson, I ain't gonna have no type of headaches. I watched Randy Moss play for the Raiders. I went to a game. It was actually my first NFL game, and I was extremely disappointed. It was like he didn't want to play. He was just out there. So that was crazy to watch. I don't think you ever got that from Randy Moss. I mean, Terrell Owens, or definitely not Calvin Johnson. All right, here we go. Let's get into some more of these questions. 49ers need a wide receiver 3 less than the other teams. Some of the other targets will go to Kittle and Juice. True. And also, 49ers run a ton of 21 personnel. So where other teams, like the Rams, who ran primarily 11 personnel, 49ers don't run 11 personnel nearly as much. They run more 12 personnel. So, they run more 21, 2 backs, 1 tight end. So they don't have as big a need for a third receiver. But obviously, there's going to be times where you do need that third receiver and kind of spread everything out. And when they do, I think that Richie James is more than suited to be able to do those things. How much do later round rookie cornerbacks typically play? We have Verrett, we have E-Man, but I feel like Thomas or Demo can challenge Mosley. I think so too. And I've kind of talked about it earlier on here. I think that there's definitely a clear opportunity for guys to compete for a starting position. And it's going to be on them. How quickly do you pick things up? Are you stacking good play after good play? If you're doing those things, then yeah, like you have a chance to push Mosley for a starting job. They don't have a whole lot invested in Mosley. I bet his guaranteed money on that 2-year extension or contract runs out after this year, most likely, I'd assume. So I think definitely if you can kind of strike gold, no pun intended, striking gold podcast, then and have both guys play extremely well and push guys for starting positions or at least play as rookies, I think that's awesome. I think if you're a 3rd round pick, that's not considered a late round pick to me. Like when you're picked in the 3rd round, like they want you to play. They want you to play. So whenever Thomas is ready, he'll be out there. He'll get some opportunities this year, and you get to see exactly what he's about. We did a film study on him, so if you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out my YouTube page. We have a long film study, probably about an hour or so, on Thomas. It was good stuff. Who's our returner? I would guess as of right now, Richie James, but that's probably up in the air too. I'm surprised they didn't get somebody that. Oh, maybe, I always forget about this receiver that 49ers signed. Sheffield from Arizona. I think he does returns as well. So maybe, him and Richie James, I think they both can play like similar roles. They're probably competing for a similar role. A 3rd or 4th receiver, or 3rd or 4th, or a 4th or 5th option, and a return man. That can be an underrated battle to watch for. Thoughts on, Ayuk? Sophomore slump, or is this the year he really shines, putting himself among the elite wide receivers? I don't want to say elite, but I think that definitely, like, as long as he's on the field, I think he's going to be good. The one thing I would like to see more from Ayuk is, and it was weird because he did this thing where he did break a lot of tackles, like somehow, like, or I don't even want to say break, like, but like bounced off of tackles and stuff. But what I want to see from Ayuk is better, like, run after catch. And some of that has to do with him just being, more comfortable. But it seemed like he didn't give you the, like, get busy. Well, I mean, obviously the Philadelphia Eagle game where he jumped over somebody. I mean, that was amazing. But aside from that, I mean, like, just catching the ball, making guys miss, running off on people. I want to see, like, the elite elite, like run after catch ability that I feel like he, possesses. So I want to see him just look a little bit more comfortable with the ball in his hands. And maybe they'll use him as a return a little bit. You got to keep him healthy, though. Yes, sir. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Yes, sir. Josh Mangold. I appreciate that. Also, Mangold, I actually was on the Jets with a Nick Mangold. I don't know if there's any relation there, but Nick Mangold, he was like a center. Trade equals the truth. Yep. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna get out of here now. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate everybody for the super chat contributions. I'm gonna get on here and talk again soon. My wife is probably like, "Where the hell is my husband at?" All right, so I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna keep it coming. I'm gonna do this definitely a couple times a week. Got to get in all my wide receiver, defensive back talk, but I love being able to come on here and talk with my 49er fans. Strike and Goal podcast. I think we're going to be going to YouTube as well, so be on the lookout for that. And you'll get a lot of thoughts from Rob, Louder, and I. All right, but until next time, I appreciate y'all. I'm out. Peace.